So I'm relaxing in my backyard. Maybe you can hear those little clanks in the background. There's one now. Turns out the kid down the street has a batting cage, and he uses an aluminum bat. Fortunately, he only does it like all the time. In any case, if I ever do a video on Maxwell's silver hammer, and I'm sure I will, I'm going to see if these sounds speeded up like Maxwell's hammer. Yep, it seems they do. Maxwell's Silver Hammer was probably the most hated song within the band. Well, at least by three of them. Paul introduced it during the Get Back sessions. Not a great time to introduce any song the way those were going. But they did the recording in earnest during the Abbey Road sessions. Now, John said flat out that he hated the song. The funny thing is, he didn't even play on it. Did you know that? I didn't know that. He said Paul did everything to make it a single, but it never was, and it never could be. And Paul really did expect it to be their next single, or at least tried hard. But you think about it, a song about a homicidal nutcase during the era of Charles Manson, in the style of, well, When I'm 64, at a time when the band had long passed that as well. Really, Paul? John also remarked that Paul was grinding poor Ringo and George down into the ground on that one. Ringo was equally unvarnished. He told Rolling Stone that it was the worst session they ever had, and he said it was the worst track they ever had to record. It went on for fucking weeks. And George said,
and Maxwell's Silver Hammer is just something of Paul's, which we've been trying to record it. We spend a hell of a lot of time on it.
It's no secret that George was tired of Paul's influence on the band, the growing influence. He would always be pushing his songs onto the guys and really just shoving theirs aside. George had been suffering that for years, and this was probably one of the last straws. As he put it, Paul wasn't sensitive to stepping on other people's egos or feelings. That may be true, but think about it. Without Paul pushing the guys, especially John, and really getting the ideas done, there's a lot of Beatle music that probably wouldn't have gotten made. Nevertheless, that goes only so far and can last only so long. So in the end, it got made. Yeah, it wasn't a single, and it did cause a lot of hard feelings. So what do you think of the song? A lot of critics thought it was weak, but a lot of people think critics are weak. I don't think it's their best, but I think the dark humor is pretty clever, and it did make me look up the word pataphysical. Paul says it's the only rock song he knows of that actually has used that word. So I suspect it's got just as many lovers as it has haters, and a good bit in the middle that just say, meh. Where do you fall?